Hello, testing. Oh, testing now. Oh, it says I have excellent connection. Is anything gonna show up? Okay, cool. Oh, let me also recalibrate myself so I'm not always looking in the wrong direction. Double tap to calibrate. Wait, what? There we go. Okay, cool. If anybody, oh, let me go also ping people that I'm actually streaming. Yeah. My channel, videos, shorts, videos, live, video. At streams, streaming. Alright, yeah, so today just gonna do some doodling. I'm gonna draw a Clio because I've been watching some of her videos recently. They're pretty entertaining. Let me pull up some references real quick though. Do I still have PureRef installed? Ooh, do I not? Okay, I don't have PureRef installed. Unfortunate. Wait, I thought I had... let me check out my Flatpak. Oh! Yes! The chat works. It's a little bit ugly. Sorry about that, but now now you can see when I actually get it. I think there is still an additional delay, like maybe 30-second delay between the time I actually receive it and the time that this like widget receives the message, so you have to add on that delay. But other than that, you know, pretty cool. Yeah, okay. Let me check my... I could have sworn I installed PureRef via Flatpak. Let's see. Flatpak list installed. What was the command? Let's see. Flatpak list. Guess you can't really see what I'm doing. It is... Let's see. It's actually not installed via Flatpak. What is this installed via? What the heck? Discover. Maybe I never actually installed PureRef. Or maybe I uninstalled it by accident. Where did I put it? For context, PureRef is just a program that literally just overlays a reference image. You know, I can just use CSP, or I can just use Krita for this. Copy image. There's a reference layer in Krita. Right click. What the heck is paste as reference? Edit. Paste. Control Shift R. There we go. Just gonna copy this anime girl pose. Then let's get a full... I don't need a full body of Clio. I just need like part of the upper half of the body. But I guess this has the entire body. Control Shift R. There you go. That's a huge image. Don't need all that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Whoops. Don't mean for this to be like a huge thing. Just wanted to do some doodling. I was gonna play Clair Obscure, but then I was like, I might have to relearn the mechanics. That'd be kind of annoying. I don't want to relearn the mechanics. Or like, cause last time, move tool? I was using move tool. What the heck? Cause last time it took me a while to get a hang of like when to actually dodge, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So if I had to do it again, I'd probably have to relearn that. I don't really want to do that. I think I want the assistant? No, I don't want that. Oh, there it is. References image tool. I think I should probably have chat on the side so I can actually see if you guys are talking, but I don't think people are talking right now, so I'm just gonna chill in silence. And also move the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. Got a lot of hair. Let me know if anybody else is interested in like background music. I personally don't like having background music because I feel like if you're just here to listen to me yap, like you probably already have your own background music selected. If you want to just hear me like do stuff, then you also probably have your own background music selected. You don't need me to play background music that's like in a worse quality than what you already have playing on your computer. 4 people. Wow. So exciting. Only there was stuff to comment on. I guess I can just talk about my day or something. Honestly, not that much happened. I went to work, dealt with some stuff, and I came back. Now I'm drawing. Same old. Oh, I was thinking about, okay, so this was one topic I was thinking about on my way to work, which was like, so I feel like people always complain that like all the boomers have the money, which is like sort of true. I think if you look at the stats, then like the wealth distribution is incredibly skewed by age. But also like boomers have a lot of kids too. So like if the boomers, like once they start to die out, presumably either the children are going to inherit the boomer wealth, and like generational inequality will just turn to like regular inequality, or the boomers' wealth is gonna get sucked up to like end of life care. And in that case, then you just have like less inequality since people are equally poor, but everyone is also more poor. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, is the end of life like healthcare industry gonna win, or will the millennials and Gen X and Gen Z get their slice of the pie? And then another thought that came up from that is like, how much money do you actually need to like feel like you're successful? Because I feel like if you live in New York, people like the prices that people kind of quote feel kind of astronomical. For example, reading this really dumb article. So I don't know if you guys do you read Money Diaries? But there's this one. If you Google like Money Diary, Orange County, 330K or something. There's basically, it's like the diary of a woman who thinks that 330. She's like living paycheck to paycheck on 330K household income. And I guess that's like a ridiculous thing, because obviously that's a lot of money. But you look at what she's spending on, she's like, the instant she feels like buying something, she just buys it off of Amazon. And it's so funny to me because obviously it's really easy to spend a lot of money, but also she's like, I think somewhere in the article she mentions that she managed to like spend $500,000 her and her husband got as inheritance. I'm just like, that's kind of impressive. Like, how do you, supposedly this was spent on vacations, and I'm not really like, let me actually say this really quickly. I like to think I have some sense of how to travel and stuff, but sorry, vacations and furniture. But even I would be hard pressed to spend $500K on vacations and furniture. Like, how? Like, I get if you took that money and you blew it immediately on like a down payment for a house. Like, this completely understandable. But it's like, how many business class flights you have to actually wait. Average cost business class flights. Let's just Google that. Supposedly a round trip is like 2.5K. This is average round trip, so we'll round up to like 3K. So what's 500 divided by 3? That's 167 business class flights you'll have to take to spend down 500K. Also, okay, so you also get taxed on this. So let's assume, the Uncle Sam was like feeling particularly frisky today. He's like, give me like a half of that. So Uncle Sam takes away 250K of your hard-earned boomer money, and then you can only take like 80 business class flights. Sorry. And then like you also have furniture, but like how much could furniture cost? Like, unless you're buying some like a Victorian antique. Like, okay, sure, you're not buying the $500 IKEA sofa, but like maybe you're like a West Elm average furniture price $2,000 for a sofa. But it's like West Elm. It's fancy. Like, I don't understand how you could buy also like what? So 40 business class flights and 40 fancy pieces of furniture from West Elm. I mean, I guess you could spend that down. Yeah, like, okay, I get that okay, so there's like multiple markets for furniture. I'm sure one of them is like the really fancy cost $3 million a pop. But like, I'm guessing this is like, it's the obviously catering to rich people crowd, because I feel like at this price point, you have like, oh, this is one of kind made by this like disabled artist from Nigeria who like uses, I don't know, like ectoplasm to construct the stuffing of this sofa, like all that stuff that rich people, like real rich people, waste money on. Like if you want something functional, I truly struggle to see how you can spend more than a couple thousand on a piece. That like where you don't get vastly diminishing returns, because it's just this, after a certain point, it's just a sofa. So yeah, that was my rant on people who spend. I mean, so like you should. I think like most people's first thoughts are probably like, haha, look at this stupid person. Like they're wasting so much money. But then like I feel like your second and third thought should be, number one, like sure they kind of seem dumb, but also this person technically makes like a bunch of money. Like and you with your infinite intelligence make like half that or like a third that or what have you. So like I feel like that's like one of the first things that should bother you. Like, why is this obviously stupid woman making so much more money than me? I think she's like, I don't know, like a marketing person or some other crap like that. I don't know. You could probably like read it yourself and figure it out. So there's that. But then number two is also like, oh, you should thank this woman, because this woman is she is helping stimulate the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy runs on people like her who have more money than impulse control. It's like all the crap she's buying on Amazon. Those are job creators. Those create some jobs. She's creating jobs for like the delivery drivers to piss in bottles. You know what? Amazon, apparently, I think Amazon provides free college, or like if you work, or there's some sort of perk where like they pay for some or all of your college. It's actually quite a good perk, because if you imagine yourself as like a genuinely poor person and you can't afford community college, Amazon, like you could just piss in bottles for like 2 years, and then Amazon, they pay for you for your community college, so you can get a degree that actually has job prospects like teaching or nursing or accounting. I think people are always like, or like, I feel like accounting is like sometimes on the fear list of, will AI replace this? I personally think no, because I feel like the list of things that AI is going to replace, in my opinion, are the list of things with basically no regulation, because the key pain point of AI is that half the time, or actually like a good chunk of the time, it's just like fucking wrong about what it's saying. So I don't think it's actually going to make much headway in medicine, because the issue with medicine is that if it's wrong, your organization will get sued out the ass. Like you're going to get medical malpractice suits and all that stuff. Whereas like I do think it's coming for the software engineers, because I think software has like a double-edged sword. For the longest time, there was basically no regulation. Well, not no, but like very few regulation in the industry, and very few regulation on the quality of said software, which is why like none of the crap you use actually works. Like Discord fucking buggy half the time. Also YouTube buggy, Facebook buggy, all that jazz. But the nice thing is that it's fast to make, fast to scale, and like I think the consumer has gotten too used to all their software not working, And so it's actually like, I think this is ripe for replacement with AI, because AI is really good at making a bunch of stuff fast, bunch of stuff that maybe works fast. Like that's its like key competency. So like, whereas accounting, I'm guessing there's a bunch of regulation, i.e. if you do it wrong, Uncle Sam is like, you have to pay this back with fines, or you get like a really mean slap on the wrist, or like, a bunch of crap happens, that like a bunch of bad stuff happens that I'm guessing you like don't want to happen if you mess up. And so I think AI can save some of the busy work, but ultimately, you still need somebody to make sure that you're not getting sued out the ass. And that's where that's where the accounting comes in. Like also, U.S. tax codes change every couple of years to let rich people have new ways of dodging taxes. So you still, and like, you gotta keep the LLM, the trading model updated. So yeah, and I think nursing and teaching are obvious why they're not gonna be replaced. Think the job of being a teacher, I mean, I think it's partly it's like to do your best to teach, but I get the sense that if you're not working with motivated students, it's basically glorified daycare. So like, I assume the AI is not going to be physically taking care of children. Like maybe they can spiritually take care of the kids, but somebody's going to have to physically pull apart the fighting 8-year-olds. Like nursing, obviously, I think nursing's safe. I think there'll be no nurse AI. Let me move this Madoka here. Oh, not that. I keep forgetting using the wrong tool. Of course, though, like, if nursing goes away, or if the only job you can have is nursing, then I think, like, the economy is much more screwed than I think you have much bigger things to worry about, to be honest. Because if nursing and teaching are the only job, like, nursing and teaching and being an accountant are the only jobs that you can get, then I think the economy will be in a great recession, where the only people who have money are like the 10% of rich folk, and then everyone else is just very sad. Or like, I don't know, stuck in end of life care or something. That's true. You do not need to be poor to be sad. You can, in fact, be a sad rich person. Although I think it's a lot easier to be a sad poor person. Yeah, the other thing that I was my subway thoughts were that, like, I feel like the amount of money you need to feel like quote unquote successful is like so vastly different. Because I feel like in New York, and I think this is largely based on property prices. In New York, like, you basically can't get a house, like anything that's not a co-op, for like less than, I don't know, 800K. And even in this range, like the 800K that's like larger than, I don't know, 400 square feet is kind of far out, and like might not be the best locations. Whereas, you know, if you have 800K, if you're like an 800K property in, I don't know, like Topeka, Kansas, you're living like a fucking king. And so like the Topeka, Kansas person feels great with like 150K income because they're like, ah, shoot, I can buy a house in like, 2 years if I save up. And whereas the person in New York making 300K is like, okay, so you might think 300K is a lot of money. If you look at how much you get taxed, it slowly becomes less money than you might at first think it is. So because the marginal tax rate at about 500K is like 40, almost 50% maybe. So like even if your household median income, if your household income says you make 500K, you're like 250K take home, which is like, okay, sure, great, that's fantastic. Still a lot of money, but if you have like so much other crap, like let's say you're able to save, I don't know, like you live in New York, so you pay like 3K a month, 4K a month for rent. That's 50K down, and like an extra, I don't know, 2K for like all the stuff, all the crap you spend money on because you live in New York. So let's say you're paying like 75K a year. So 75K, so you have 175K left. Let's say you pay 20K, you max out your 401K, max out your Roth, or like you're like, I don't know, 30K down. Or like you have, not down, but like that's going to a retirement account that you're not going to be able to access for a while. So you're like, you have like 100K saved maybe, which is still quite a lot. But then you look at your options. You're like, 100K. I could move out to like Jackson Heights, which is a great area, but also it's like, I think like it's not what you, like when you go there, it's not what you might think when you think of like quote unquote rich. Like I feel like if you say my household income is 500K, like having to still, wait in line and stuff in the subway and like, deal with all the other crap, like having to drive a car for nice things, or being late to work all the time, or dealing with dirty streets. It's like, I feel like people don't think that you still have to deal with that, but you still have to deal with that. Now you could like save up couple more years for like a down payment. Like let's say you save up like 500K. You're like, I want to buy like a $2 million house and like a $2 million starter house in the Upper West Side. Well, congrats. Your monthly mortgage payment is now like, I don't know, 10K. And if you lose your job, you're absolutely cooked. It's like, it's actually over. And you're gonna have to like, I don't know, default on your loan or something. Like if you have a secure 500K a year job, like, or let's say 200K a year job, and like you both, you and your partner work, like all the more power to you. But I get the sense that if you're making that much money, like typically the more money you make, like the less secure that money is. So like you could have a really good year, or you could have a really bad year, and like maybe you get fired because your performance is bad or something. And so like I think that's the other risk, where if you have a lot of money, typically, like I think there's a reason that also jobs like, I don't know, being a teacher don't pay as much, is because it's quite a secure job. Like you'd have to screw up a decent amount to get fired, whereas you could get fired quite easily. I'd say like a software developer, because like for like literally no reason of like no fault of your own, the company just like felt like downsizing. You just got caught up in the downsizing. Or like the company happens to have a bad year, and then it's cooked for you. Or they have a good year and they want to pump the stock price even higher, and they just like decide that they decide that they don't want you anymore. Like all these reasons. I think similar if you work in finance, it's like very, maybe like something like 2008 happens again. They're like, we don't need all these people, all these employees. Yeah, so I think it's great if you get in on like the boom years, but I think if you like let's say in software you make like an average of, I don't know, like 100K more, but you're like out of a job 50%. Like it takes you 2 years to find a job. It's like, is that like, if you can sustain that 100K more for more years than like the difference between your software engineering job and like a non-software engineering job, then I guess you win. But however, if like, let's say your alternative is like a cushy or like a rock solid accounting job for 80K a year, and you had that for 2 years versus the, I don't know, 120K a year software job, and you have that for 1 year and it takes you another 2 years to find a job. I feel like the accounting job is obviously superior here, or like the nice teaching job where you get a pension. Like, I feel like people don't take into account these benefits that often public servants get. Like, this all adds up because I think like job security is a number that I think that you can definitely price. Yeah. Is that? I'm kind of cut it right. It's like the. I mean, I do think we need more teachers, and I really do think we should definitely pay teachers more. Okay. Oh, sorry. The other thing I was thinking about recently was that the whole like, okay, so I watched Weapons, the new I forgot his name, but I think it's by the same guy who did Barbarian, and honestly, maybe more pro cop, as in I feel like I've heard so many like, I don't know, like BLMs, the protesters, and like, oh, okay, yeah, all cops are bastards, yeah, got it, like everyone's telling me this, but then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, well, you know, some jobs, some cops, they just want to do their jobs. Like, nothing inherently evil about them. They just want a paycheck. And like, I think people, like, yes, I do think our cop system needs some amount of reform because it does unfairly target certain groups of people. But also, like, I think the issue is how do you make these reforms? Like, I think one side is, okay, we need to institute, like, I don't know, like government mandates or like these extra state control and like yada yada, all that stuff. But I feel like the other side is also, you could just make it like, pay cops a crap ton more money, and then naturally your best and brightest will gravitate towards becoming cops. Like, right now your best and brightest are like scamming people on Wall Street because that's what pays the most money. But like, if you don't want your best and brightest to be doing that, like if you want your like morally superior people, or like you're like high level people to be doing like public service, you should just pay them more. Like, let's say cops paid 500K a year to be like, I don't know, be not racist or something. Then I feel like you definitely get a much better pick of the litter in regards to like who you're able to hire, and just like the quality of the recruits in general. Like, you wouldn't have, and like also they'd be more educated, and I think in general being more educated makes you less bigoted. Of course, there are some cases where you become more bigoted after you get educated because, I don't know, maybe you're like you've discovered the secret arts or something. But in general, I think education makes you more likely to be able to see opposing sides. So like, let's say you have that, then I think that could be another way to improve the whole like cop situation. But I think what people, I think, can agree on is that whatever they're doing now is not working. Our arms should be out more. Ooh. It's like this. That makes more sense. I think in general, people can agree that whatever system we have now is not working. But I personally think that you can either pivot towards a more market-based solution or full state control. Or like either more market-based or more state-based. And I feel like people just don't realize that that's like essentially what they're arguing about. But I feel like in terms of like, should this be more market-based? Should this be more state control-based? Is like a matter of preference. Like I think this one is kind of like I'm in the camp of like I think it's like your opinion whether we should try to like make the market more efficient versus we need to impose more state control. Like I think this is kind of like your ideological stance kind of thing. Anyways, I thought Weapons was a pretty good show. It was fun. It wasn't like a masterpiece or anything, but I also wasn't expecting it to be a masterpiece. It was just like a fun movie. I think it's in theaters now, so I can go check it out. His arm look off. Weird. Okay, always kind of annoyed drawing YouTuber outfits. They're just too detailed. So much like stuff to remember. What is this? Yeah, it's like what off like this like weird cape thing? How does that, what is that? What does this cape thing do? This? What is this? Guess they just do this to add like interest to the model, even though I think it's kind of looks kind of silly. Like I don't think any cape is designed this way. Kind of impractical and looks like silly. There's like this weird, it's like bow thing. I don't know, this bow thing over here. What is this? I'm not drawing. No drawing. I'm just gonna simplify. Looks like a star. Kind of lopsided, not like yeah, like a lopsided star, like a lopsided bow, because maybe supposed to symbolize that she's like in a hurry or something like that. It's like cute, messy, you know. That. Yes. This one bow is a bit longer. Then there's like this frilly stuff. This frilly stuff. It's also closer to oh, this. Gonna bring it up. No, not that up, like a little bit more up. But yeah. Should probably clean up the line so I can color this in easier. I don't wanna spend that long coloring this. Close it in, fill this, fill in that line. I don't know, it looks like that. I think Krita suffers. It doesn't have like a good gap fill detector, so you gotta really close all the lines in Krita. Like more ruffled stuff. Very, very ruffly. Alright, we're close to the end, I think. And then there's like, I don't know what this is. I don't know. This thing? What is this thing? The freaking VTuber designs, man. It's too. What? Is it like supposed to be falling off? Is that what it is? Okay. That, I guess. Right, well, I don't really know what this is supposed to be, but I think that's in the design. So I'll just go with that. Alright, cool. I can just go ahead and render it. Hopefully it should be quick. Let me clean it up slightly. I think some places should be darker. Have a darker stroke. Just to make the outline a bit clearer. Should have a bit of a darker stroke. This two, and this part. But yeah, honestly, I fully support getting a teaching job in Topeka, Kansas. That sounds comfy. You know, our millennial queen Taylor Swift, she got engaged in Missouri in the Midwest. Just like our Midwest king Travis Kelce. It is funny how, like, you know, I feel like in the 1989 era, she was so New York. She literally had a song called "Welcome to New York," and now she's just like, yes, Kansas City. I love that. It's awesome. Okay, is that filled in? It's filled in here. Maybe this is like just like the natural progression of life. Like in your 20s you're like, yes, New York, but then in your 30s you're like Topeka, Kansas, or like Kansas City. I mean, there's a reason why there are so many suburbs in America. Maybe they are superior. Cause like I used to definitely be a person who was like, oh no, suburbs, I would never live in one that's so soulless. Now I'm like, yeah, suburbs, they're a pretty good deal. Like, honestly, I think being into New York is for children. It's a thing you do when you're a child. It's like how everybody thinks Lolita is their favorite book when they've been reading for a total of like 3 months. They're like, yes, I love this deep book by Vladimir Nabokov called Lolita, and he has such brilliant prose and such meaning about the American experience and something I can't even make it up. I forget the eyebrows. Everybody here wanted something more. You're sorry, what? What's the issue here? New York has been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. New sunshine. This be should be like connected this way. Actually, no, I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay, now I think we should have enough lines to start filling it in. So we're gonna set this, tool options. I think that's good, and I'm gonna be lazy and just color pick, 'cause I don't really feel like. I think color picking is the easiest. Looks right. That might not get filled super easily. Nice. Looks like I closed up most of the lines, so I should be able to fill it in pretty quickly. That red's darker than I thought it would be. Color. It's like a little amber. Closest to the medium bit. And then this color. The shirt for the cape thing. And like this the main color. The shades this. We're just gonna pick like this yellow. It's good enough. Then let's get the gray here. I think this is the gray. And we're gonna pick the bow. And I think this is like close to, yeah, pretty close to white. And then do this. I'm gonna just fill in the rest with, I think we could probably get this color picked. Yeah, there you go. We can do the rest. We can do the rest by hand. I don't have to be a dirty color picker. Cool. So get this. You can use like a different brush for shading and do like, I don't know, this one maybe blends slightly. Get dark. The eyebrows are like a little bit darker. Let's little like that. Yeah, that's good. Didn't fill in this. Oop. I think the glasses should be, the silver should be a bit more obvious. So let's go on top of it and do some silver. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's see what this looks like. Oh. Oh. No, and we want back to this. Actually, the glasses should be a little bit bigger this way. I'm gonna go here and then erase this. Oh. Oh. Wait a second. Oh, this? No, no, no. Wait, what? Oh, I was on, just like confused. Whoops. There you go. I'm gonna add in some shine here. Add on here, I think like a light tint, opacity. I think the glass should be darker. That. Can I struggle with the perspective. It's kind of hard to think about. This is definitely a tool I could have solved with like a perspective tool. Oh, thank you, Rusich45. I made it myself, and I tried to make it as simple as possible because I did not want to rig too many things. It's a practical, you know. I'm a function over form kind of person. Now I was thinking about the other thing I was thinking about today was tech companies, and their dead names. I will continue to dead name Twitter and Facebook until the end of my life. I will dead name them. I will not respect. I will not respect their new names. They don't even have new names. Just because some corporation has it listed as a new name does not mean it's actually their new name. Oops, I was on the wrong layer. Oops. And let me actually work on the eyes. I think the eyes, this is a little bit, whoops, I want this. Like the darker, like here. And like a lighter yellow here, and then like we want white here. We want like another like white there. And we want some oops, shade on the skin. That. I think Clio's like the. It's kind of dark. Is that? It's like it's a little bit darker than what I have. It's not that bad. Okay, this here. I think I have a bad habit of adding too much rendering. What kind of character? You're a Russian asshole. Oh, the only word of Russian I know is sukabliat. Oh, I think I also learned Iri Nahui, I think. No, it's just like a random character though. Well, thank you for coming to my stream. I don't know any Russian though, so unfortunately I don't think there's like any sort of there's not like a live translation running, so if I'm talking too quickly, I'm sorry. I'm surprised you have internet in Russia. I thought like Putin banned it or something. Like Putin banned, I don't know, I mean banned Discord. Reaching for a sound we hadn't heard before. Said welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Well, I'm always down to learn some more Russian if you want to teach me any words. I don't think that makes so much sense. The shadow, I don't know. I don't know how the shadow works. I think there's a better way to... I just don't have the patience to render the clothes. There's no patience. It's like maybe like this, I don't know. It's like a, there's like highlights too, I guess. So it's not just like a jelly blob of like this. Oh. I think some degree of highlights you could just like that. Yeah, it looks fine. Oh. And then you can fill in the mouth. Stool? How do you pronounce that? Taburetka. Taburetka? It's like as in poo? Alright, well, I'll try to remember that the next time I talk to a Russian person. Alright, I think that's basically it. I guess this should probably be more like that. Oops, let's go with this one. Oh wait, this one. There we go. Oh. I'm a little lazy. I just kind of feel like just want to try to finish it up. Rest if I like kind of painting. Don't want to bother like redoing the line art and stuff. Do like this. I don't know what's going on here. This like corset thingy. Okay, this meant to be more like a reaction image. Let's make the background transparent. And crop. Oh, I forgot this like Roman thing. So it looks like that, I guess. Something like that. Kind of draw the. This is like definitely a Rome thing, but I don't know what it symbolizes. So somebody can Google it. Oh, I forgot to fill out. Did I forget to paint bucket this thing? Oops. There you go. Got to paint bucket that too. The heck? Oh, keep forgetting the fourth one is the one with like opacity 2. Alright, let's clean up it up a little bit more, and I think we're almost done. Yeah, wasn't that rendering so fast? Booblik bagel. Booblik. Doesn't sound like doesn't sound like it would be a booblik. Maybe it does. I don't know. A little bit less obvious. Yeah, thinker, basically done. A little bit, one more. Okay, maybe I should just use a hard round to render, not bother with the blending brush, because it can be a little bit annoying. Okay. Let's crop this, and crop this like here. Whoa. Wish they had like option to, whoa, not that. Oh. Had the option to snap the crop. cool. I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you everybody for watching the stream. Booblik, yeah, boob broke. Cool. Catch y'all next time. If you like the content, like and subscribe and all that. Yes.